Interpol, the FBI, and 15 governments are looking for you. You top their lists, but none of them even know what you look like. Level 1, the runner. You step off the subway at the last station. In your backpack, 10 vacuum-sealed packages. You don't use GPS. The map of the district is memorized from satellite imagery. You walk along the concrete fence of the industrial zone, hugging the walls where the eaves of the roofs block the security camera's field of vision. You know that a standard camera, at a height of 4 meters, has a 3-meter blind spot directly beneath it. You use that gap to cut the distance. Your hand, in a black glove, finds a steel beam under the overpass. Without looking, you snap a magnetic stash box onto it. At this moment, you aren't thinking about the risk. You're checking the grip. You use neodymium magnets with a 5-kilogram pull force. Neither a stray bump nor the vibration of a passing train will shake it. You pull out a smartphone with the front camera taped over. You take one photo. A background utility scrubs the metadata, turning the file into a set of pixels with no history and no geography. You input the coordinates into an encrypted chat. Every message travels through a chain of proxy servers scattered across 3 continents. A 1-meter error in the point's description, and the client opens a dispute that wipes out your week's earnings. You return to the subway via a different route. Your pulse, 92 beats per minute. The screen flashes. The handler has confirmed the drop. Your deposit in the system has grown. You receive the address for a 5-kilogram master stash. This is your ticket to the next level. Level 2, the packer. You open the door to a rented garage in a sprawling complex on the edge of the city. Inside, sterile silence. You put on an anti-static lab coat and a respirator with carbon filters. You know that fine dust is your greatest enemy. A single spark of static electricity while pouring 5 kilograms of dry powder can cause a dust explosion. You ground the workbench with a copper wire connected to the building's circuit. On the table, laboratory scales accurate to 0.001 grams. You calibrate them with a reference weight. You aren't just weighing, you're managing loss. The allowed margin of error per kilogram is 0.5%. You divide the product into vacuum bags. You set the vacuum sealer to 0.8 bar. This creates a perfect seal, eliminating any air that sensors or dogs could detect. Every seam is checked under UV light for micro cracks. You assemble retail batches of 10 grams each. Each package is marked with a unique QR code linked to your internal warehouse database. You work 8 hours without a break. You never touch the product with your hands, only with titanium spatulas. In the evening, a courier pulls up to the gates. You don't go out to meet him. You leave the bag in a hidden hatch beneath the garage floor. The system reflects a $10,000 increase in your balance, but you realize the scale has shifted. You need to move a shipment across state lines. Level 3, the logistician. You pull into a rented auto shop bay. Before you, a tractor trailer with a reefer unit. Your task is to deliver 50 kilograms of product across 2 state borders. You don't use false bottoms. That's the first place a custom scanner looks. You work with material density. You use a portable X-ray fluorescence analyzer. Your goal is to find cavities in the truck's structure, surrounded by materials with an atomic weight close to your cargo. Organic substances appear orange on an X-ray scanner, like a Rapiscan. You place the bricks inside spare tires, filling the remaining space with a mixture of rubber crumbs and nitrogen. On the scanner, it looks like a single, dense mass of rubber. You don't use lead shielding. On a customs monitor, it shows up as a black, opaque spot, a direct signal for a physical search. You hit the highway. Your smartphone is connected to the dashboard, but the GPS antenna is covered with a copper cap, a Faraday cage. You navigate by paper map. At the checkpoint, you don't turn off the engine. You know that a sudden change in the vehicle's thermal signature attracts the attention of thermal imaging operators. You hand the documents to the inspector. Your pulse, 84 beats per minute. The scanner moves along the side of the trailer. On the operator's monitor, only even rows of frozen vegetables and technical components. You cross the line. In the system, the cargo status changes to delivered. Your fee, $50,000. Level 4, the launderer, a co-working space. On your laptop screen, a terminal window. $50,000 of profit in Bitcoin is a transparent digital trail. You don't use exchanges. You work through decentralized mixers and chain hopping. You run a script that breaks the sum into 800 microtransactions. Each goes to a temporary stealth address. You use Monero, XMR, as an intermediate gateway. Its ring signature protocol mixes your key with those of other users, making the sender anonymous. You intentionally set the transaction fee 10 times higher than the market rate. This pushes the transactions through the blocks instantly. You deny analytical systems like Chainalysis the ability to match entry and exit times through indirect queues, a timing attack. To the monitoring system, your money simply dissolves into the general noise of the blockchain. You confirm the payouts in a bot for a mule network. People in 10 different cities withdraw cash from burned cards. 10 files for 10 new, clean wallets appear on your desktop. The link between the shipment and your assets is severed. The administration notices your volume. You are granted access to the shop's control panel. Your role expands to conflict resolution and security audits. Level 5, the moderator. You sit in a darkened room, 3 monitors before you. You have logged into the admin panel of the largest shadow marketplace. Your job isn't to sell, it's to manage trust. You resolve disputes between buyers and shops in the escrow system. You analyze the logs. If a buyer opens a no-find dispute, you check the metadata of the attached photo. You compare the lighting and the angle of the shadows in the runner's photo with the client's photo. If the client sends a photo with a different shadow angle 3 hours after the purchase, you calculate the sun's position using an astronomical calculator. This is how you prove the client is lying and just trying to get a free replacement. You work with honeypots, fake listings designed to sniff out law enforcement. You create ads that look too good to be true. If a buyer's account shows specific activity, like requesting data on the tear weight or the exact second the drop was made, you block them for procedural behavior, typical of police reporting. You receive a system alert, an attempted database breach. You activate the Canary protocol. These are hidden records in the database that, if accessed without a specific key, instantly wipe the server's decryption keys. You prevent a leak of user data. The site owner evaluates your efficiency. They offer you a stake in the infrastructure. Level 6, the platform architect. You are in a server room in a jurisdiction with no extradition treaty. Before you, a dashboard with 40,000 active sessions. Your task is to keep the ecosystem alive. You no longer see faces. You see incoming traffic and database response times. You use bulletproof hosting, servers in a former military bunker, protected from EMPs and physical seizure. You configure a mirror rotator. This script generates new onion addresses every 5 minutes. If competitors launch a DDoS attack on one mirror, traffic is automatically redistributed to 10 backup nodes. You force disable JavaScript on the server side. This prevents intelligence agencies from injecting code through a user's browser to steal their real IP address. You transfer the platform's commission to cold wallets. You sign transactions only in an isolated environment, an air-gapped system that has never physically connected to the internet. This eliminates the risk of key theft via remote access. A report of a critical vulnerability in the communication protocol pops up. You realize that any bug in the code is a life sentence. You activate the Scorched Earth script. If the server room doors are breached, all backup decryption keys are wiped in 0.2 seconds. Your life is a constant wait for a raid. You begin preparing to vanish. Level 7, the Shadow. You sit in a private aviation terminal. In your hands, a tablet with 0 browser history. You are no longer the owner of a platform. You are an object that must vanish from all government and shadow databases simultaneously. Your exit plan has been 2 years in the making. You activate the physical data destruction procedure. On a remote server, a degausser fires, a device that creates a powerful electromagnetic field, irreversibly destroying the structure of magnetic disks in 1 second. Your assets are distributed through offshore shell games, a chain of 40 companies with nominee directors in different time zones, making it impossible to seize all accounts at once. Your new passport isn't a fake, it's an aged identity, a real person with a 5-year history of tax filings and a clean credit card. Before entering the security zone, you apply an IR blocking compound to your face. To the human eye, it's a transparent gel, but to airport infrared sensors, your face turns into a glowing blur, denying neural networks the ability to read your biometrics. You pass through the gate. You don't look back. You toss the tablet into a lithium recycling bin. At that moment, your system account self-destructs, and the marketplace database turns into an array of encrypted junk. You step out into a square in another hemisphere. You have no past, no enemies, and no name.